When I hear the word Credor, which derives from the French word
Credor.
Apparently it translates to pinnacle of gold. And you know what that means. Yep, unobtainium. But what if I told you there is a Credor watch you can pick up for a little more or less than the price of a Tissot PRX chronograph and is a hell of a lot more exciting? Before some of you start complaining in the comments, yes, it's a sports watch, and yes, it's a chronograph from Credor. And if you're still complaining, well, then how about a free watch? That's right, stay tuned on how you can be entered into our giveaway. Since getting into this hobby, I always knew Credor as a higher horology brand. So I never bothered looking into them, as I probably would never think about owning any of their pieces, let alone forking up the premium prices they're asking. But when a friend of the channel mentioned that he picked up a Credor, I immediately came to two conclusions. One, he's getting the words Tudor and Credor mixed up, or two, he's loaded. But what is Credor anyways? Well, back in 1974, Seiko launched the Credor brand, aimed at the high-end market with a focus on premium material watches, hence the name Credor, and its meaning as the pinnacle of gold. After several releases throughout their history, which featured double branding on the dials displaying both Credor and Seiko, they eventually dropped the Seiko name from the dials in 1980, replacing with their now famous crest logo, signifying mountain crests with 3 stars stretching to the heavens. These 3 stars are the brand's core values seen in each of their watches, which is sensibility, technical skill, and performance. It wasn't until later in the brand's lineage that they started to introduce stainless steel cases and even experimented with producing sport watches, which is where this one under their Phoenix line came to be. Now, when my friend sent me a photo of his new Credor, I immediately thought there is no way that that is a Credor. But after doing a little bit of research on this chronograph from Credor, it did exist at one point in their catalog between the years of 1999 and 2002. From the photos alone, I wasn't very sure about how I felt about this watch. First off, it has a cabochon crown design, very similar to that of a Cartier tank. Subdials at the 12-9-6 positions that isn't very well balanced to my eyes, and it's a pretty generic looking chronograph design as a whole. Never mind, I take it back. This is pretty nice. Since the birth of Credor, they've been known for ultra thin cases, and coming in at 13.5mm thickness, the Phoenix Chronograph isn't much of a departure from their dressier pieces. And once you have it on the wrist, it feels remarkably balanced. Taking a closer look at the case finishing, there is a combination of brushed and high polish parts, most notably the high polish facets on the lugs, very reminiscent of Grand Seiko's Grammar of Design. The case itself feels very robust and pretty hefty. I think this partly has to do with the bracelet. At first glance, it may not look like an integrated bracelet design, but in fact, it is. I'm not really much of a fan of most integrated design bracelets, but this one is definitely an exception, as it looks like a normal bracelet, but really made to fit with the design of the case. But not only does it look nice, it operates as a luxury watch should, almost dare I say, to the level of Rolex bracelets at the time. Now, hear me out. This bracelet is proof that the Seiko Corporation can definitely make a really good bracelet. So, Grand Seiko, hire the team that made this one. Although the dial may appear to be just black, Credor did not disappoint with its ultra deep piano black lacquer dial. Coupled with AR coating on the crystal, there is no bad angle on the dial. The dial itself is very luxurious and lends to the Credor name on the dial. The subdials are pretty interesting. At a closer look, they look like micro Blancpain 50 fathoms bezels, displaying the running seconds, elapsed minutes and hours on a 30-minute and 12-hour scale. Now I'll be honest, I'm never a fan of 12-9-6 subdial configurations, but I can look past it with this Credor Phoenix, as it's packaged very nicely in this 40mm case. That brings us down to the 6S78 caliber that Seiko developed solely to prove to the market that they can compete in the high-end mechanical watch market. And it was clear that they were aimed directly at the Rolex Daytona references at the time. Running at a 28,800 beats per hour with the rated plus or minus 3 to 4 seconds per day, Seiko wasn't messing around when they developed this automatic column wheel chronograph caliber. And it looks pretty nice too with its gold-plated finishing. As Credor is known for their technology and their watches, Seiko actually had to call up a few watchmakers from retirement to develop this chronograph, which at the time was their most modern mechanical chronograph. Now imagine getting a call from your former employer you retired from to develop a state-of-the-art caliber. That's Japanese spirit for you. And I like that kind of spirit. Hello?
Hey, this is ChatterTrade, and we're doing a giveaway for everyone watching this video.
Is that so? ChatterTrade is a forum and marketplace all in one place, and is the official sponsor of this giveaway. Unlike existing platforms like Reddit, where there isn't an official marketplace, ChatterTrade bridges that gap, allowing users to discuss all things watches. Similar to a traditional forum and a place for users to easily trade their watches with built-in marketplace features like auto bump, market filters, and user reviews to name a few. So if you're interested in winning this watch, here are a few rules to be eligible. 1. Subscribe to my channel. 2. Follow me on Instagram at Clicky Bezel. 3. Tag a friend on my giveaway post on Instagram. And 4. Comment and upvote on the giveaway post and comment around ChatterTrade once every week until May 31st. After that, you're in. We'll draw the winner and reach out to them via Instagram on May 31st. So best of luck to you guys. As many of you know, I recently came back from a trip to Japan, and I've always had this watch in the back of my mind, especially if I could snag one up for a good deal. But with these hovering around the $1,800 to $2,500 range, for what some watch enthusiasts are saying is one of Seiko's best mechanical chronographs, I'd say it's a bargain, even without the current sweet exchange rates and discounts you might get shopping in Japan. So for those of you on the hunt for something a little lesser known and from a prestigious Japanese brand, keep your eyes peeled for this Phoenix Chronograph from Credor.